Hey guys, so you may have seen a few of my videos and you want to try them out, but you don't know what kind of weight you should be using or how to make progress from week to week. And in this video, I'm going to teach you how to figure out what weight you should be using, how hard you should be training, how much weight to add each week, how many reps to add, that kind of thing. But the most important thing you need to know is you need to progressively overload the big compound movements. So progressive overload means training harder than you did last time. That means either lifting heavier weight, doing more reps than you did last time, or doing more sets. And you need to do that for a few basic compound movements. So I will call them the big six. And these are the bench press, overhead press, barbell row, weighted pull-ups, squat and deadlift. And these 6 exercises will get you probably 80% of the gains that you ever get. They involve like the most muscle mass. They allow you to use very heavy weights and put a lot of mechanical tension on the muscle, which is like the main thing that increases hypertrophy and strength. The bench will cover the chest, shoulders and triceps. Overhead press will build the front delts, barbell row will build your back, pull-ups will build your back and biceps, squat will build your quads and glutes, and deadlift will build your hamstrings, glutes and lower back. And then there's only a few muscle groups that aren't covered by these big exercises, like the side delts, rear delts, calves and abs, and you can tackle those with smaller isolation exercises, but these big 6 are the most important ones you need to know. And you need to make progress, get stronger and add reps to these big 6 movements. If your goals are strength, then you want to be training with lower reps, so something like 5 reps in each set, like 3 sets of 5. If your goal is hypertrophy, then you want to train with higher reps, something like 10, 12 or 15 reps in each set. I'm going to assume that your goal is aesthetics mostly, like getting bigger muscles, so we want to be using a higher rep range. Now in terms of the weight that you want to use for each of these exercises, start with just the bar, like an easy weight that you can easily handle. Perform your 3 sets of 10 reps, and if you want to, on the last set you can do as many reps as you can to kind of like test how many reps you can do with that weight. So we're getting 3 good sets in and then you're testing your strength on the last set. The next time you come into the gym to perform that same movement, do 3 sets of 11 reps. And then after that, do 3 sets of 12 reps. And then once you've reached 3 sets of 12 reps, we could say that you've basically mastered this weight. So then you can add a small amount of weight, like 5 pounds or 2.5 kilos, and then do 3 sets of 10 reps with that new heavier weight. And you repeat this, adding 5 pounds or 2.5 kilos every time until it becomes impossible to progress further using this technique. And that might take like 6 months, a year, or even 2 years to reach that point. So you can keep adding like 5 pounds every week for a long time, and you're going to force your muscles to get bigger and stronger because it's having to train harder than it did last time. So it needs to get bigger in order to manage this new stimulus, this new heavier weight that you're putting on it. So once your progress really slows down and you're really struggling to add 5 pounds or add any reps each week, then you can take 10% off the weight that you're using and build up again from there. And you can do that a couple of times and eventually your progress will stop. You won't be able to add weight every workout or every week like this anymore. And that's when you've reached the intermediate stage. But that should take at least like 6 months up to like 2 years. So you won't have to worry about that yet if you're a beginner. And when you're in the gym, make sure you're warming up before going into your working sets. You don't have to like jog on a treadmill or anything, but you absolutely have to use lighter weights before you get up to your heavy working sets. So always start with the bar and then add a sensible increment of weight, working up to your working weight. So if you're going to do your main sets with 185 pounds, you might do 45 pounds, that's just the bar for 10 reps, and then 95 pounds for 5 reps, 135 for 3 reps, and then you head into your 3 sets of 10 with 185 pounds, your working weight. So you're kind of pyramid building up to the weight that you're actually using. So you have a couple of warm-up sets before your main sets. If you just jump straight into your heavy sets, then you're far more likely to injure yourself. There's not going to be much blood in the muscles, so you're just not going to perform as well on your main sets. So the high number of reps we're doing in each set allows you to get a lot of practice performing the movement pattern, and the multiple sessions at the same weight allow you to really master that weight before you move on to a slightly heavier weight. So you might spend like 3 workouts or even like 3 weeks using the same weight and just increasing the reps slightly, so you're really used to that weight by the time you increase the weight a little bit more. So there are three basic methods of linear progression that you can use at this stage. You can increase the weight while keeping the sets and reps the same. So you could do 100 pounds for 3 sets of 5 one workout, and then 105 pounds for 3 sets of 5 the next workout, and then 110 pounds. And that will get you strong quickly because you're handling heavier weights and your nervous system is going to adapt to that heavier load, and it's going to make your muscles stronger and more able to handle heavier weights. The second method is to increase reps. So you do like 3 sets of 10 one week, and then 3 sets of 11, and then 3 sets of 12, and then you increase the weight after that and go back down to 3 sets of 10, 3 sets of 11, and so on. And this will get you bigger quickly because the number of reps is higher. If you're doing like 10 to 20 reps per set, that's going to be much better for building bigger muscles, but not so good for building strength. And the third method is you can increase the number of sets you're doing. So you could do 3 sets of 10, and then 4 sets of 10, and then 5 sets of 10, and then increase the weight and go back down to 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10 with that new heavier weight. And this will also get you bigger quickly because the total number of reps is higher. You're doing lots of volume, which is excellent for hypertrophy or building muscle. And just a note on the difference between getting stronger and getting bigger. So increasing weight is the fastest way to get stronger. As you increase the weight, your nerves get more efficient at contracting more muscle fibers in the muscle, which will make you stronger because you're able to output more force. During the early months of lifting, most of your strength gains are going to come from increasing neural efficiency rather than increasing muscle mass. Training close to failure is going to increase muscle mass. So that's the purpose of taking the final set close to failure, to stimulate hypertrophy by doing lots of reps. Some might say that starting with just the bar is too easy, it's too lightweight, but I want you to practice like the movement pattern of the squat, bench, deadlift, those big movements. And if you jump straight into a weight that is really challenging for you, your form is not going to be as good and you're far more likely to injure yourself. You really haven't mastered the movement yet. Whereas if you start with just 45 pounds or a 20 kilo bar, you practice the movement and you add 5 pounds or 10 pounds, that's not going to be a huge challenge. You're going to get a little bit more efficient at lifting that weight. You're going to get a little bit stronger and you're still going to be able to practice the movement because it's light enough that it's basically just practice. Let's say you tested how much you could do straight away and you could do like 150 pounds on bench press or something. If you start from there without ever really practicing the movement of the bench press and you start increasing by 5 pounds every week, you're going to hit a wall much sooner and your technique is not going to be as good. You're not going to be able to really milk the newbie gains that you could get in the first like year to 2 years of training. Once you've learned the movement pattern, then you can get into using a weight that's like challenging to get those 3 sets of 10 reps with. And you will reach that point eventually just by adding 5 pounds a week. But before you reach that point, you'll have gotten so much practice using lighter weights and getting really good at the movement that once you reach those heavier weights, you'll be able to perform them with good technique and they will be much more effective at building strength and muscle. So I'll just recap what I've talked about in this video and a couple other basics that you need to get correct in order to make progress. So first of all, you need to hit every muscle group at least twice per week. So that means at minimum, you need to go to the gym 2 times a week, ideally more like 3 or 4 times a week. In order to make progress, what you need to focus on is increasing the numbers. So more weight, more reps, and more sets. If you take your bench press from 100 pounds to 200 pounds, your muscles are going to get bigger and you're going to be stronger. You also need to practice good technique, so try and make every rep perfect. The last few reps in a set won't be perfect, but try to maintain good technique while you're struggling through those last few reps. If you get your bench press from 100 pounds to 200 pounds, but the only reason that it's increased is because you've progressively started cheating more, you've lifted your butt off the bench and you're just grinding through every rep with horrible form, that's not true strength increases. That's not going to build muscle. You need to have pretty strict form and try and maintain attention on the target muscles without cheating. You also need to be eating in a small caloric surplus unless you're overweight. More food means your body has enough energy to build muscles. If you're not eating enough, then your body is just trying to survive and it has no energy to spare for building muscle. You also need to eat protein. So muscle is made from protein, so you need to be getting enough. At least 0.8 grams per pound of body weight or 1.8 grams per kilo of body weight. If you do all these things, you get stronger at the basic 6 lifts that I mentioned at the start. You're going to build a lot of muscle. You're going to get stronger. And then other than these basics, you can do your little isolation exercises like lateral raises, calf raises, bicep curls, those kind of things to add on a little bit of extra mass. But the main thing you need to focus on is getting stronger at the main big compound movements. Improved aesthetics will come as a result of improved performance. Remember, if you want to make your muscle bigger, you need to train close to failure using higher reps. If you want to make it stronger, then you need to use lower reps with higher weight without necessarily pushing close to failure every time. Alright, thanks for watching guys, I hope this was helpful. Let me know if there's any other parts of building muscle or getting stronger that you're not sure about. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.